everyone, and welcome to the webinar. Thank you so much for giving up your time to check out what we're doing on New Energy Work. I've got my colleague Diana with me. She's just across town, but she's in her home, broadcasting from home. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope we're going to, it'll be interesting for you for the next however long it takes, just to go through our plans that we're putting together at New Energy Work. So please say hi in the chat. There's Pascal straight in there, and Loretta. Hi, Loretta from the USA. Wow, that's pretty good from the considering the hour difference. Linda, Agnieszka, Carol, Adrienne. Wow, okay. I think we might have some people who have been with us right from the beginning, Dinah, by the looks of it. Yeah, and
lovely.
There,
lovely.
Mary, great. Okay, so let's get straight on without any more further ado and find out what we've got for you. Well, we're going to give you a brief history of New Energy Work, and maybe some of you were there right at the beginning when it was shiatsucenter.net. We'll find that out in a minute when we do some polls. We're going to just give you an overview of what we did during the pandemic, and now we're coming out of the pandemic, the new memberships we're putting together. We're also very excited because we're going to announce our new team, our new wider team of international teachers, and no one knows yet what it is except for me and Dinah, so there's going to be a bit of a surprise. And then we're just going to give you a little bit of an idea of what we've got coming up in the next month and the next, in the future of New Energy Work. So yeah, here, oh, look, Ari's there, look, and Panayotta, whoa. And Sylvie from France. Oh my goodness! Wow! And Gabriella from Rome. Well, look at this. We've got it's an all-star cast today, and that's just the people who are participating. Wow, great. Okay, so here we go. Look, I'm going to ask you whether you are a premium member, a professional member, or a free member of New Energy Work, or you might just be registered on the site and you're not actually a member at all. There's quite a few people like that. And you might not be sure, so they've got the not sure as well. So let's just find out where you're at in terms of your membership. And we'll just see who we've got this evening.
Not sure.
Yeah, not sure. We can find out for you. If you email us, we'll tell you. We'll be able to work it out and find out. Okay, well, look, we've got 42% professional members, so that's actually quite amazing. In fact, we've got a majority of professional premium members, so you'll be really interested to know what we've got in store for you. And we've got some free members. Some people are registered but not a member and not sure, because that's really interesting to know who's tuned in. Okay, now this is another interesting question. During the pandemic, we ran the whole Shiatsu, the New Energy Work. We ran the whole project on donations and through our membership fees. A lot of our members continued to pay their fees right through. Even though we actually gave open access to everything, and that was a massive bit of generosity on their part. But some people also donated via donor box. So let's just find out, and that's going to be important later on when we talk about what plans we've got for that. So let's just find out whether did you donate via donor box. You'll definitely know if you did, because it's a whole thing that you click on and donate, so you would know. And I know a lot of our professional members who are already paying a subscription donated on top, and that was just amazing, and it now allowed us to really give a lot of support to the worldwide Shiatsu community over those last 2.5 years. Okay, look, we've got over half of you donated, so there's going to be some very interesting information later on that you'll want to know about, so please stay tuned. Okay, so let's go do a little bit of history about New Energy Work, and it's going to be a bit of a surprise when we look back how far it's been. It was actually 2001 that shiatsucenter.net was launched as an international group of teachers working together. It took 1.5 years to develop the site before then. So it was actually around 1999 that we started working on it. And in those days, there was no Facebook, no YouTube. In fact, the launch was 3 years before Facebook. So the idea we had was 5 years before Facebook and a whopping 6 years before YouTube. So we were way out there in front. And that was the very early days of the internet, where there's no video, it's all just text-based and stuff like that. And there's me, look, on the very first brochure. All very excited and very expensive, because everything had to be coded up. It was a massive investment. It nearly bankrupted me, but it was all incredibly exciting and amazing fun. And look, this is an actual scan of this, and that's what it looked like back then. Look, forums and seminars is what we were offering, pretty much exactly what we're doing now. Publications, events diary, again, something that we're kind of doing with the programs. And we had a reference library back then of articles, and that was the kind of idea. And so that was it. That was back in 2001 that we started the whole thing off. And here is a little screenshot from the very first event we did, which is 21 years ago next month. So we're coming up for our 21st anniversary. And this was an amazing event with Pauline Sasaki and me chatting, and lots of other people from around the world. And you can imagine back in 2001, that was just the very idea that people from around the world were like talking to each other on a forum was just mind-blowing at the time. It was all very, very exciting. So let me just think, if you can remember back 21 years, maybe you can just let us know. Can you remember, were you on that very first seminar with Pauline Sasaki? I'd be very surprised if there were many people who can remember that far back and who can. I think if you were there, you'd probably never forget it. So we've got one person so far who was there. That's pretty much as I expected. So yeah, that was a long time ago. But as I say, it was very exciting. So okay, so what happened was we slowly built it up from 2001, and we had about 800 people who were like signed onto the site by the time the pandemic hit. And then, of course, everything went completely crazy because we were in a unique position to help out Shiatsu practitioners and teachers in the world, because we had already been doing it for decades and we had all the knowledge and skills about taking Shiatsu, teaching and also practicing online. So this is what we did. We actually made, in a fit of complete madness, it really was like that, wasn't it, Dinah?
It was white hot
madness. It was. We basically just made everything free in a risk. We just took a big risk. We made everything free. And then in 1 month, just in the first month of lockdowns, we put out 26 webinars in 6 different languages, helping. And we helped 200 teachers who were signing on every Monday. We had a special teachers group. And we had around very quickly, we built up to about 2,000 practitioners worldwide taking their practices online. And doing distance healing work, taking their Shiatsu classes online. It was just kind of insane. We had so much to share and we just put it all out. We had no idea whether it was going to work. We just had this faith that it would all work out. We worked from donations and, as I say, from people who were already members. So in the last 2.5 years, we're just sort of coming out of it now. We're just kind of looking back and we're kind of thinking, whoa, what happened? And we put out over 150 live webinars free out to the whole worldwide community. We ran 2 summer schools. We've had loads of guest webinars. We've put together 3 international Shiatsu congresses online, one which was tied in with the ESC in Amsterdam. We've also produced the ISCO Italia, which was a massive event actually, and a smaller, more modest ISCO Swiss recently. So we managed to support all those Shiatsu practitioners right through the pandemic. And as I say, we funded it by the donations and by all of you who stuck with us and kept up your membership payments. So that was absolutely an incredible time. Okay, so now memberships. We've thought, as we're coming out of the pandemic, obviously donations are going right down now. People are kind of getting back to normal, whatever that is. So we thought we'd have a look at the memberships and reorganize everything. Now, the first thing we wanted to do was we wanted to make sure we had something like 500 people donate. Not many of them are here tonight, but they know who they are, and we'll get in touch with them over the next few weeks. We had over 500 people donating, small amounts, big amounts, regular amounts, one-offs. And we thought it's only fair that those people that kept that going, obviously that includes our members, subscribing members will be included in that. What we thought we'd do is we'll create a donor membership, which has all of the resources that were created during the pandemic that were funded by donations and by our members. So if you're a premium or a professional member, we will include you in the donor membership. And if you're one of those people who just donated during the pandemic, then we just thought it's only fair that you should have all those resources that you helped us create. And we thought we'd give you lifetime access to that. And so that's kind of a new thing that we're just putting together right now. We'll be contacting all the 500 donors over the next few weeks to make sure they get access to everything. Okay, so then we thought, right, okay, let's look at the 3 membership categories we've got. We've got free membership, professional membership and premium membership. And we sort of kind of rejigged things looking forwards. By the way, if you've got any questions, please put them in the chat. Diane will have a look at them, check them, and then she'll mark them up, and we can have a question and answer session at the end. Okay, so free membership, professional membership, and premium membership, different membership grades. So the free memberships, what we're offering now, ongoing from now on, is we're going to be doing occasional open free webinars with guest presenters. We've got a selection of free introductory courses that we put into the free membership. And we've got previews of the CPD CE courses. That's the courses that lead to ours CPD and CE courses. And also we thought we'd give the free members a 10% discount on purchasing courses and events, because we realized that some people don't want to pay a monthly thing. They don't want to be right in there with us creating this amazing thing. They maybe just want to just be chilled out and just access a course every now and then. So we thought we'd give a discount. So that's going to be what the free membership is going to look like from now on. So the professional membership is, we're going to create 3 5-week webinar-based online courses a year, one in the autumn, one in the winter, and one in the spring, summer. And that's going to be about 45 hours of CPD, which is going to be more than enough for your CPD requirements in a year. So we're going to be doing that ongoing, and we're going to be negotiating, not negotiating, but like finding out what you want. We're going to do some polls and find out what kind of things you want, so that you can help us develop your energy work moving forwards, so it suits you the best. We'll give you access to all our video-based courses, the basic ones like foundations, that will be in that package. And then we've got our Ask the Experts special events, which we're going to open up to the professional members. So basically, those professional members will get three 5-week courses, special events, and Ask the Expert sessions. Okay, so that's going to be the professional member. And then if you want to really go for the heart, you want more input, you want to be more right in there with us, then we've got our premium membership. We've got more of our advanced video-based courses that we made before the pandemic will be available for that membership. And then what we thought we'd do is, we've done this before on an experimental basis, it worked really well. We're going to do advanced group tutorial sessions where we work together in here with members of the team, and sometimes we get video links in from the members who can then show, I'm having problems with this, or I want to do that, and then we can work with them. So it's more like a small group advanced tutorial thing. And this is completely new. What we thought we'd do also to make it really special for premium members is we're going to start doing one-to-one supervision with the team. So we can book in like one-to-one supervision. You can either come in here if you're local or you want to travel, or you can book a session with us and we can do it over a video link. So you've got that more one-to-one supervision. And in that vein, we're going to start a special supervision forum. Again, this is for people who are like full-on professionals, where they may be working with difficult clients and then you just feel you need a bit of support. So we basically got our team of experts and the people here in the home team, and we'll be on that forum to help you, support you as you go on. So we thought we'd make a little special thing there for the premium members. So that's the 3 membership categories, and then 4 including the donors membership. I hope that kind of makes sense. Okay, so now dan, the much anticipated new team for new energy work. And I might actually, what might happen to me is you'll have to bear with me if I get a little bit emotional, because this is basically the idea I had 21 years ago to do this. And it's taken 21 years of work, a global pandemic, and hundreds of hours of work by the team and by guests and everything. And finally, it's happening. And I can't even really believe that it's actually really happening now. We're actually got to a stage now where it's actually possible. It was way too far ahead of its time back in 2001. I just couldn't make it work properly. And it's taken, like I say, 21 years to get to this stage. It's hard to believe, isn't it, Diana, that it's been so long?
Extraordinary. And we just did a webinar just the other day, didn't we, last week or the other week, about working with the
Oh yeah,
elderly, or Shiatsu and aging,
that's
or something
right.
like
That
that.
was a summer school, wasn't it? That was really good. Yeah,
Summer
yeah,
was the last session of
yeah.
the summer school, and I have to say, 21 years ago, we were a lot less aged. But one of the great things about this team is that so many of them were around in those really
They
early
absolutely were,
days.
and there's quite a lot of overlap between who were on this brochure that I printed 21 years ago and who's on the team now. So let's find out who they are, okay? And there's going to be a gasp of amazement, I think, from everyone, including me, because I'm going to now finally announce the team. We've got about, I think, 11 new people in, and they're all like leading teachers, as you'd expect, authors and researchers. And you'll recognize a lot of them because most of them have worked with us over the last 2.5 years. But here we go. Okay, can you believe it, everyone? Carola Beresford Cook. I spoke to her the other day on the phone, and she is very keen to be part of our team. Obviously, you must know Carola. She's probably one of the most famous Shiatsu authors in the world. Her amazing book, Shiatsu Theory and Practice, is a standard textbook. And she was also a founder of the Shiatsu College UK. So it's a bit of a getting the band back together again thing, which, you know, it's got a kind of vibe for that. And that goes back to 1986 when we put the Shiatsu College together. She's obviously an expert on TCM and 5 elements. And here's some hot news that you won't have heard anywhere yet, is that she's got a few ideas that she wanted to do, and I can't tell you what they are yet. So a couple of projects that she wants to do exclusively on new energy work. So I'm really, really excited to work with Carol. It's going to be so great, so lovely to work with her after all these years. And she's got a couple of projects she wants to do, and she wants to actually launch them on new energy work. So yeah, watch out for that. We will definitely know about that. Okay, so next up we have Gabriella. I know she's on the chat. Okay, and Gabriella's obviously a wonderful friend of mine from decades. She's a great teacher. She's very popular in Europe. She did a lot of advanced quantum shiatsu work with Pauline, along with Nicola, and founded the ESI Rome. She's just a wonderful person. I'm so happy. She was very enthusiastic about joining us, and I'm sure you'll see her on some of the events coming up very, very soon. Okay, so we've got Gabriella, and we've got the lovely Nicola, who recently did a lovely advanced quantum course. I really enjoyed that, Dinah. I really learned so much on that.
It was brilliant, wasn't it? With Gabriella and
Yeah.
Nicola together, both teams worked very closely with Pauline in the last phase of her development of quantum shiatsu, and have both bring that lineage to life in their own gifted ways.
I'll never forget that tutorial we did together with them guiding us. That was really, really fun. Brilliant, yeah. So yeah, Nicola's in on the team. And we've got Nick. So happy to have Nick. Nick was one of our very first graduates. He was one of the very first people that walked through the door back in 1986 when we started the Shiatsu College in London. And look where he's got now. He's absolutely awesome. I mean, I've learned so much from Nick over the years. He's such a brilliant teacher, and his book is just beautiful, Words to Touch. I think it's really transformed a lot of the way people talk to their Shiatsu clients, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, and the whole mind-body connection is, and our work as practitioners in learning how to support our clients to connect to the wisdom of their body through the language, Words That Touch. It says it really, the title of his book.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I love clean language. It's brilliant. And in fact, he did an absolutely brilliant webinar for us recently, which I thought was one of the best things he's ever done, introducing clean language. Yeah. And I think his work's come on so much, in the pandemic. He's so much clearer now and so much more. He's so focused. It's great. I'm so happy to have him on the team.
Absolutely right. Yes, great book, Annette. I agree.
Look, and here's Alice, who in fact will be coming next week. I've got her as a special guest spot. So she's obviously an expert in Seiki and mind clearing. She's written a book on mind clearing. She's got a couple of PhDs, so she's a doctor twice over. Doctor. We call her doctor, don't we? Yeah, she's absolutely great. Another really great new generation of teachers, absolutely brilliant. And I think probably I don't know if I'm the only one, Dinah, but for me, Alice is the person who's really made Kishi's work understandable? You know, she can really answer those questions.
I don't think you're the only one. I certainly have found that myself, because I studied with Kishi several times. I went to various workshops and stuff, but it wasn't really until I started working with Alice that it all began to make sense to me. I was able to integrate it into my approach, and she's gifted at it. And she's great.
Alice is one of the team. Okay, and then we've got Cindy. I'm actually really excited about Cindy's work because it's actually given me a framework to understand some of the sort of kind of weird things that happen in Shiatsu. You know what I mean? Like, how does diagnose, and this is something I'd really like to put together in the future. I'd really like to put together some kind of presentation on how diagnosis is possible, because somatic empathy is such a great explanation of that.
Yeah, how we pick up information from the key field, and key as information, in fact. And yeah, because she's also a biologist with all that scientific background, and she's a really committed researcher, so she's always on top of what's breakthroughs in all the different fields of psychology and neurobiology and all the latest cutting edge stuff. And she's working on she's the author of Wild Health, which is, if you've never come across, is a book about how animals self-medicate in the wild, how they keep themselves well by the way they eat. And her new book is about all of this extraordinary, basically she's done all the research, read all the papers so that we don't have to, and to explain or to make sense of how we pick up information from our clients. A lot of it, as you say, is that, how do I know that? How do you know, where has that come from, that image or that sense or that? And I've been helping a little bit with some editing, and I can tell you there's some brilliant stuff in this book.
Oh, really? Yeah, so you've actually seen into her book. Yeah,
some of it. Yes,
great. Well, we'll have to do a book launch for her, definitely. Yeah, no, very, very exciting. And I think actually what Cindy's one of the characters is like starting to make me feel that there's a real consensus forming about how Shiatsu works, you know, an explanation in Western terms. I just think that's so exciting. Okay, and Suzanne, look, Suzanne wants to be part of our gang. She's so great. And she did such a lovely summer school webinar for us, didn't she?
She did. It was great. And I mean, she is like one of the leading authorities on the whole world of fertility, pregnancy, childbirth. It's her thing. Well Mother is her website, and you know, she writes blogs, but she teaches. She's widely respected internationally as a teacher, and she's really loads of fascinating work about the extraordinary vessels. And yeah, it was a lovely session in the really summer school.
Yeah, it was really great, and it was just nice to contact with her. And I think that's one of the things for me personally is by just having so much fun. I seriously am. I mean, it's so great to be able to contact and just network with everyone. You know, we have technical rehearsals that are supposed to last 15 minutes. And when I was talking to Suzanne, I missed my train back home because I was still chatting to her for an hour later. And look, this is another person I've just recently contacted that goes back way back in the day. And this is Elise. She was one of the founders of the Shiatsu College UK. And I only just recently connected back with her because I had Rita couldn't do her session on treating children, and I was racking my brains, and then suddenly I thought, wait a minute, I remember the postgrads, and Elise was brilliant in the postgrads at treating children, wasn't she?
Well, what happened was she was, as you say, one of the founding teachers of the Shiatsu College, along with you, Paul Lundberg, Carola, Nicola. And she taught me when I was still in my first year. She came up to Norwich, if you remember, Cliff, and taught anatomy and physiology. Anyway, Western medicine. I can remember her talking all day and me frantically running. But she left fairly soon to start her family, and then went on to have
She had 5 children. So she's very experienced at treating children, by the way.
Expert on treating children. And
and it was so cool because I was stuck. I didn't have anyone to do this webinar. I literally just called her up and she said, "Oh, I'll do it. She started digging out one. She said to me, "Oh, I do know quite a lot about this stuff," she was saying. And I thought she was absolutely great. She really was great. She was really, really great presenter. So there we are. Elise, can you believe that? That's like from way back as one of our team. So happy about that.
From the 86, 7, 8.
Yeah. Okay, and then we have the lovely Patrizia, founder of the AZ Milano and Firenze, a great friend of mine. When we lived in Italy, she used to live up the road from us. And I think she's a great person to contribute because she did all that work with Emilia Del Giudice, another really great scientific input into how energy work, resonances can occur. And she's got a pretty decent background in quantum physics. She's got a PhD in quantum physics. So it's always lovely to have Patrizia on the team. So Patrizia's with us. And then here's another newcomer really to the whole scene. Philippe did a very nice webinar, and I can't remember what it was now, Dinah, during the pandemic. Was it? I think it might have been.
It was about Ampuku.
It was the ISCO, wasn't it? One, I think it was the ISCO Amsterdam one. Yeah.
Yes, it was. Yes. He should have 2 P's in Philippe.
Sorry, there we are. You see, needs editing. Needs more editing. Yeah.
Too late, but now, and I was very privileged to help him edit that book, Ampuku, because absolutely great piece of work, really fascinating. I only learnt Ampuku as a student a little bit, and basically saw it as working on the Hara directly, and that we don't really do that because we do Hara diagnosis a la Mastanago, a la Pauli. But one of the key things that was, apart from the amazing history of it that is in the book, is this recognition that Ampuku is actually holistic. It treats the whole body. And he's absolutely delightful person and so authentic and genuine. And he's studied with a lot of different teachers and brings in an understanding of different approaches to body work. Really.
I learned so much on that webinar, and I'm really hoping we can get him back and get him to do a longer thing for us at some point.
With some practical presentations.
Exactly. I'd like to try out some of the stuff. I think there's a lot of scope for it actually in Shiatsu.
Yes, because he's worked with visceral, with osteopaths and can't remember, fascia work and so on and so on. So he's really broad, looking at all the, I think what he calls them manipulative therapies or something like that, but body work basically.
Look, here's lovely Micheline. She came on a lot of our postgraduate courses back in the day, back in the 90s, and she's really made an amazing reputation for herself in Europe. She does a lot of European teaching, and she's particularly known for working with people with serious diseases like cancer, MS, and other serious diseases. And she's got loads of experience on doing that. And she did a lovely webinar for us as part of ISCO Swiss, and so we thought we'd invite her, and she was very enthusiastic to join us. So
she is very busy because her practice is so full.
So busy and full, and it's just see if we can catch her to do some more work with us in the future. Okay, so there we are. That's our new team. What do you think, Dinah?
Class.
I was so happy when they all said yes. They were all so enthusiastic. I think because we've bonded so much during the pandemic and everything, and we've created so much positive energy. It's just so wonderful to be. It just seemed right, really, to get them in on a more formal basis. However that works out, we don't know quite yet. Okay, so I just want to. I'm sure you, most of you, probably been to a lot of webinars. You must know the home team. But just in case you don't know, here's Dinah John. Okay, and that's you, Dinah. Yeah, I thought it was a lovely picture of you, actually, really nice. And you've done you did that work with Ted Captured, didn't you? Journey of the Soul, which.
Yeah, and of course I was your first graduate from the Shiatsu College in Norwich. Yeah. And I started studying. In fact, I did my first workshop with you in '85.
Really? Oh, right, there we go. Yeah.
And then I started my training with you in 87, and it was in 89 that I met Nicola and Elise and Carola when I went to London to do the third year of the training. And then I assisted all through all those years in the 90s
Oh, the
of
postgrad courses.
graduate residentials. Plus, I took over from you running all Pauline Sasaki's workshops in the UK and Kishi's workshop, Noto's workshop. And I was blessed to be the assistant on the postgrad residential because it meant I studied in depth with you, Carola, Paul, Nicola, and Elise over years.
They ran for a long time. I think it was 91, wasn't it, that we started those postgrad courses? In fact, actually, quite a lot of people, like Patrizia and Gabriella, quite a lot of people who are in the team now came on those workshops back in the day.
Absolutely. Including Micheline. Right. And Adrienne, who's in the chat there, going, I remember them.
6 days. We used to do them as 6 days, didn't we? 6 days in the summer.
Well, at the very beginning, and then...
No, originally we did them in 3 lots of 4 days, but the weather was so terrible because they were in the autumn, the winter, and the spring. And so then we decided to do them 6 days in the summer and just do them over 3 years. That's how we did it in the end. But 6 days, they were so amazing those days. They were incredible residentials, weren't they? Yeah.
We learned so much.
Amazing.
Yes, I remember you there at Wood Norton Hall.
Yeah. Okay, we've got the lovely Shakura, by the way, who's I'm sure you must have had some meetings with her because she's been doing a lot of admin for New Energy Work over the years. And she actually did a very comprehensive key therapy course with Master Louis. She's actually the only person that we've got in the team who's actually got an actual certificate qualifying her as a distance healer, which was very useful when the pandemic hit because she was totally qualified to do that and she was great help. And she's never stopped learning, does she, Dinah?
That's right. She's getting to be a bit of one of those people that just has to learn something new. So has just done an intensive training in breath work in
Greece. Yeah, she went off for 10 days or something. She just got back. So we've got Shakura. We've got the lovely Kat, who's got multi-talents. She did a whole Meridian Yoga course for us over the pandemic, which was really great. I love that. I can still remember that lesson I had with her, that breathing thing. And she's got the particular approach, Scaravelli Meridian Yoga. She actually is a yoga teacher trainer, so she teaches people to teach yoga. She's also an international dancer. She's been to America. She does dance production. I found a picture of her doing dance, actually. I thought for a change. And she's also got a lot of experience as a Shiatsu practitioner, which we're going to make the most of in some of the upcoming courses that we're going to be putting together. Okay, and we've got Basti, our lovely our resident Taoist, known for his approach, his Taoist approach. He's obviously very popular. He does a lot of the Wednesday classes. In fact, he'll be doing the Wednesday class tomorrow, anyone who comes to the Wednesday class. And
only the other week on that Wednesday class, someone was going, your sessions are the best.
Right, okay, he can take over then if he likes. Yeah, no, he's a great teacher, very, very popular teacher. He's also very good on points as well, as I found out recently. Very, very good on points. So we've got Basti, and there's me. And if you don't know about me, I apprenticed with Pauline Sasaki in 1986. I was one of the original founders of Shiatsu College with the rest of the team that are on here. And I was responsible for New Energy Work, formerly called shiatsucenter.net. So that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we might end up with a 45-minute webinar, Dinah. It's looking like 45.
I was going to say this is probably enough talking because we haven't got any exercises.
No, exactly, we haven't. This is a very different sort of webinar. This is like a relaunch, isn't it? So this is what we're going to do. What we do, well, it looks like most of you are members anyway, but if you weren't a member, you might be worth just having a look, see if you can find the membership that suits you best. And we'll see you whatever membership category, and we'll see you at a live event or a course soon. And what we've got coming up, I've actually made a whole annual plan with a kind of rhythm to it, which is going to be incorporating special premium events, special professional events, free events, and online courses made up of webinars. I kind of planned it out over a whole year. Next week, we've got Alice Wilden, who we mentioned earlier, is coming in because she's going to be launching a book club. So I said, come in and tell us about it. And also I've got some questions I want to ask you about Kishi. And we're going to make a practical session. I'm particularly interested to know how she how different her approach is in terms of tuning in. So that's going to be a themed thing. We've got some Ask the Expert sessions lined up for professional members, group tutorials for premium members. Obviously, we'll tell you about these and we'll email them out to you so that you can sign up for them. And then Dinah and I are putting together the first of the new look 5-week online courses, which is going to start later on in October when she gets back from holiday. Yeah, brilliant. So let's just have a look. I don't know if there's any questions. Are there? Oh, there's one question.
I just flagged up. Should have, but isn't sure what membership she's
in. We can find out. Yeah, we can find out. It's a little bit confusing because because back in the day, before the pandemic, the professional membership, there was only the professional membership. That was the only one. So it's kind of like we've rejigged everything, but we can find out anyway and let you know. But yeah, okay, cool. So let's have a look. I think that's it, Dinah. Oh yeah, that's it. This is what our idea for this course that we're putting together. We're thinking of doing Shiatsu in the third age after the summer school webinar, which went down really well. We thought we'd look at energetic changes in the menopause, age-related syndromes and conditions, do lots of practical work. That went down really well in the summer school. And then Dinah can bring in some of her journey of the soul stuff in for the spiritual aspects.
Yes, yeah. Working with older people. But so, yeah, I mean, third age is a term that's associated with people basically working less, moving into the later stage of life, and with its many challenges and its many gifts. And so we'll be looking at that.
Okay, cool. I think that's it. If there's any questions, we can finish up early. I think that's the last of the slides. Let me just have a quick look. Oh yeah, just review. So what we've done is we've done the history of the new energy work. 21 years ago, we launched. It was actually like 22 and a half years ago, we started working on it. We outlined what we did in the pandemic. I'm sure you'll be aware of that. It's kind of been such a crazy period. We really needed to take a few weeks off this month just to kind of take stock. And in fact, it was a job in itself just to look through all the content we've generated. It's so much stuff to sort through and organize into the memberships. So we've just outlined the 3 memberships, and don't forget, if you did donate over the pandemic, we're going to put a special membership category so that you'll have lifetime access to all of that you contributed to. And then we announced a new team, the new team. And then we talked about what's coming up in October. So that's it.
Alice's session is next Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'll put the links out to that in the next day or two, so you can sign up for that. Okay, great. So let's have a look in the chat to see if there's any. It's next Tuesday, Ed. Next Tuesday. Great. So I hope you. Okay. Thank you so much for the last 2 years, and thank you to all of those who donated. It's been a very, very intense time, but it's meant that we are now viable as a project, because we started off with 800 people. As free members. We have 800 members in total, including free members at the beginning of the pandemic, and we've got over 3,000 now. And it's you guys who are the professional, the premium members, and those of you that donated that have made the entire thing possible. If you've got any questions about your membership, just email us and we'll look it up for you and we'll sort it all out for you, because we need to go into the system. Someone's just asked.
Yeah, exactly that. Don't know what I am.
Exactly. Yeah. In fact, there's quite a lot of, you have to bear with us because it's a massive job we've got, reorganizing all the content, reorganizing all the memberships. So if you've got any doubts, just email us and we're very happy to help you out. Okay, that's it. We're in the next stage. We're in the next stage. I think this is the third age of new energy work. We had before the pandemic, and now after the pandemic. And I just want to also just reiterate that what I was saying earlier, which is just thank you so much for making this possible, you guys, because it's so much fun working with all these amazing people. And it's just something that would be, I could see it back 21 years ago. This internet communication thing is a way that we can create a community, a worldwide community. And it's just so incredible for me that it's actually happened. So I'm going to put a heart in the chat before I get too emotional. And then we can sign off.
Somebody said earlier, you're so creative, such an inspiration. And I think everybody would join me in giving you a round of applause.
It's been an absolute great pleasure. And obviously I couldn't have done it without you guys supporting us and all the amazing people contributing. So yeah, okay, look at that. Those are claps and thing. Thank you so much.
Really, hooray for Cliff.
Hooray to the whole team now. I'm going to put a, here we are. Okay, thanks ever so much, Diana. And we'll have our work cut out now, designing the course and everything. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you on a, well, maybe see you next Tuesday at Alice's thing.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.